I just reinitialized, refresh, so I'm still loading up.
Oh,
But
we should talk about that for a
It's
second. You guys, do you know how you switch users at the beginning of every day now? In Astea 10, we need to reinitialize every morning like we switch users. And I added that to the dashboard in the LMS. But that is also solving error codes just to reinitialize, just like switching user at the beginning of your day. Okay, now I'm done. I forgot about that.
Can someone let me in? I'm sorry.
I don't see you in the waiting room, so I'm going to send you a link. Was that Chris Mulligan?
Yeah, well, I was on my phone, but I was trying to switch to my iPad. I don't know if I could do, but I have to do. I just hang up, I guess.
Yeah, you might have to pick one or the other.
all right, so we can get started. So we're gonna do mattress firm 513013 right there. That's in the middle of the screen. Um, Again, we'll drill into that, on the right side. There goes your steps 1 through 7. Now I can show you guys. So like, just right off the bat, the paper clip. I'm gonna click on the paper clip at the bottom, and then you see what I was talking about. That there goes the orange icon with the plus sign. If you click on that, now it gives you your options. From file is, if you already basically imported, like if you were at your Form Connect, and you hit export PDF and then open in, you choose Astea, then it'll be on here. See, it'll show right there. Right now I don't have anything, so it doesn't show up. And or from album, it's gonna, once you first do it, the first message that's gonna pop up when you hit from album is gonna say allow all photos. Make sure you hit, you hit allow all photos. Don't put select or anything, because it's only gonna have you select a few. But if you allow them to select all photos, then you should be able to see all your photos here. So there goes name tags and stuff, and there goes my name tag. And then what's cool about it, you can actually change the, instead of just iOS, you can change the name and just could put data plate, like, or data, um however you want to name it, and you hit save, and it's, see, data plate. So that's what's cool about it. Instead of just seeing iOS, 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 don't even know what it is. And you hit OK, you attach it. See, now it has a 1 on there. So,
Rafa, would you
Uh-huh.
check to see if you can see Chris Mulligan in the waiting room? I cannot see him.
I have to stop broadcasting so I can.
Sorry.
No
Look
worries.
at the participants, and then he should be there. For some reason, I can't see him. I think because you're hosting.
Jim. Start
I just
recording.
sent a request to join Chris Mulligan.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it, and I don't even know how to allow him. To be honest, I don't
He's not
see it.
showing on my wait list either. I'm not sure why. I just did the link. Oh, there he is. Got him.
Got him.
Chris, are you in now?
Yeah, now I am.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Sorry.
Cool. Let's go back. Guys, see it again? You guys can see the screen, right? In the lines.
Yep. All good.
Cool. So we'll start with the basic. Go to start work. It's flashing orange. We already know that's to start travel. I'm gonna adjust my time there. Had an hour drive. I'm gonna start my work. 11:14. Now I'm good. Now I'm clocked in. As you guys all know, I'm clocked in. I can go and do my service call or PM, whatever this is. We can go down to materials, fulfill that. Use all. Back. Now, this is a step that we want to make it easy and simple, and Jessica and I went over. So here in activities, the only thing I have read is activities, which is we're gonna click on that real quick, and it's gonna take us to our labor service line, which is our stop work checklist and codes. Now from here, because I'm done with this ticket, I'm completely done. I'm gonna go to my checklist because I need to go and either if it's OTA or a United Rentals, it has a checklist of the equipment, whatever, but also is gonna have your signature part of it. In this case, it's a mattress firm. The only thing that's gonna have is my signature portion, which is, are you done working with this ticket for today? Yes. Generates a signature. You get the signature, which the manager's name. Down at the bottom right, to save it. It takes you back to your labor. So this is a one-stop shop. That's kind of how we're seeing it. When you come to this portion of it, which is your labor service line, it's a one-stop shop. We completed our checklist. Now we're ready to stop work. I'm stopping work. I'm gonna stop my code. So I'm gonna do this one as end of day returning, so we can answer that question about how to whether it's a requisition open or end of day returning, which all fall on the under the same situation. So I'll put it end of day returning. I'm gonna hit OK. And then once it generates, just like in version 10, remember it's gonna take a while and it generates a labor line. It should do the same thing right now. I'm assuming that.
You gotta hit the blue check mark.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. I already kind of pre-filled this out. We're gonna add my date on there. Temperature. Continue. Overview. Don't need that. Not sending it to anyone. And now, see, it didn't generate it, Jessica, but let's see what happens. See, it didn't generate it, so I guess that was a bad example. It should have generated a labor line because it was under end of day returning.
Would you do one with open, is that not it? 513013?
Yeah, I can do one with already open labor stuff, and then so
the open PR. So it'd be labor complete open PR. That was the one that Jason tried.
Mm-hmm.
Would that generate a different result?
Possibly. Yeah,
so end of day returning, if
you do one that open PR in your material list and accidentally hit and then resolve the ticket, that's when it start really screwing you up, because if you don't put it, if you accidentally resolve it, but with the open PR, the open causes the labor line to open up.
Here. Okay. So this is
so it's calling it resolved, right? Is that right? That whenever it doesn't stop you from clicking resolved if you choose a status that is a returning status, whether that be open PR or end of day returning or whatever. It doesn't block resolved. So we would have to note to not check resolved. Is that what?
Right. Just like, well, you just got to know how to get out of it. That's what took me.
Yeah. And we'll do it here on this ticket, because you see this one has a requisition open of 4, and this is probably what you're talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my travel and start work on this stuff, and then see if we can answer your question on this. So
this resolved, but close the ticket out.
Oh, like when someone mistakenly hits resolve when there's a requisition open. Oh yeah, like in the version 10, it takes you to that extra step where you have to put in a date and time, and then like if it's labor service, callback, whatever, you have to fill those in, and then you hit save, and then it kind of like puts the ticket away, like back to your work list, huh? That's what you're talking about. But in this case, it's obviously a different step.
Right.
So
you end at that step, but it's not. It doesn't just bring you to that step. it kicks you back into the checklist again over and over and over again.
Well,
And
let's
you got
do that. Let's do that. Let's walk through it. So let's go ahead and walk through that real quick so you can so like in this case, this is kind of what we're gonna go through. Hold on. I don't know why it's doing this, but let's see. Let's do this. So like you guys saw, there's
It's not letting you put resolved
Yeah.
in now.
no, this thing is yeah, so it's I don't know, I don't want to say it, but it's probably has a glitch or something. But because it took me straight to like when I tried to, and then because like I said,
It's because you haven't started work.
no, yeah, no, it's not even that. My thing here, see, it takes me, see, this thing we've been doing so much testing that it's a little off, you know.
Oh, your profile?
Yeah, it's a little off with this ticket, so I might just because I did started travel already, so I don't know why it takes me to here, but see, it's just this thing is crazy right now. And like I said, it's because we did so much testing on my part that it's just this thing is just crazy.
Okay. I think what I would do is get out of that ticket, and if we need to have Lisa remove it, then we can do
Yeah.
that. And then we'll try one of the other tickets that you have picked. Do you mean
Yeah.
ping Lisa?
Yeah, the only thing right now though, I'm stuck in this ticket.
Hang on, I'll ask her to get you out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh, there,
not a good thing, being stuck
there it
in a
is.
ticket.
No,
It's-
there it is. See that? I was able to get out of. I saw. I'm able to continue now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna click on that. Now I can see. Now I'm gonna hit resolve. Right.
Okay.
See how it's already giving you an error, like there are open lines checklist. Oh, this is the. Let's go to the checklist real quick. This is to get the signature.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. So it's not to confuse you guys, but okay, so we're actually closing this ticket on the resolve, even though it has requisition open, right? So
Testing to see.
it has requisitions. It's kind of like what you know you guys were talking about. This I'm gonna deal with that. So already downloaded. This is what you're talking about, right? There's an open
Yes.
task. So with this system, it is not gonna is it you keep saying yes, like would you like to return? Oh, if you keep saying yes, this is what it's going to do. It's going to take it back to where it wants you to go, which is materials, which is requisition open. So in order for you to close out this ticket, even though you closed it on the resolve, so let's do this. We're going to hit no. I don't want to go to it. I want to continue on. You're going to hit no, and then you're going to just keep moving forward. And see, this is the same equivalent as version 10. Remember version 10 when you actually accidentally close out the ticket under resolved, when you have requisition open, it's going to kick you to that last page where it has these yellow bars and you have to fill in. So it's basically the same. So it's telling you, you know, like, oh, I need a date and time to, you know, populate. And then you can just put, you know, if you need to click on some of these, just.
Can we time out for 1 second?
Uh-huh.
So in the training, in the PDF training, that's step 1 through 7, and on step 7, if you're leaving it in an incomplete status, it explicitly explains to hit no. And the reason that it says to hit no is because the question that it's asking you in that box is, do you want to return to the checklist? And you don't. It's the end of the day, or it's open labor PR, or it's an incomplete status. If you hit yes, you're telling it, yes, I want to go back to the checklist. So you have to say no. If you don't say no, it is going to run you in a circle because you're telling it you want to go back to the checklist. So what I would say is read the question and answer the question. Do you want to go back to the checklist? No, I don't.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's going to push you forward. Now,
Yeah.
again, in the PDF, in the printed format that you guys are getting, it has a screenshot of that exact message with a big red arrow pointing to no. So that is in there. So if you encounter that, when that pop-up comes up, you have to hit no. Otherwise, it's doing what you asked, which was to return to the checklist.
And just to clarify, because I know you guys in the field are just as familiar with version 10 as me. In this case right now, what we did, it applies to the same way. It's gonna, like, you accidentally closed it on resolve, which you should have closed it under labor completed open PR. We all know that. But in case you do, in this case, we accidentally closed it under resolve when we had a requisition open. It's going to ask you the same question. Do you want to go back to that checklist? You can hit no. It's going to continue. You can do whatever you do. Now this is going to pop up just like in version 10. This extra step that no one's really familiar with, because, most of the time you're not closing out the ticket under the wrong code, right? Usually we close out all our tickets that have a requisition open under labor completed open PR, but for whatever reason, one of those days you do close it under resolve when you should have closed it under labor completed open PR. This is what's going to pop up. It's just the same as version 10. It's going to give you this extra step. You're going to click on, activities to labor service. You can put any date and time, and stuff like that. Now you're good. See that? I think it was Jason that was asking this, that he was stuck on. Now see my little bottom right floppy disk. Now it's available. Now I can save it. Now it's going to actually close out the ticket, and it's still going to stay on my tablet, but it should take me back to my work list. And it did. See that? So it's basically the same thing, just in general right now, guys. It's going to be the same as version 10. When you close out a ticket that had a requisition open under resolve accidentally, you can still go through the same steps, and it's going to give you the same extra step that no one really sees. And I have this issue with my text right now, when they do the same thing. So hopefully that answers your question, Jason.
Yep. Yeah. I ended up figuring it out.
Yeah. Yep.
The check that, that's the extra step that really comes in.
Yes.
That we're not. That had me up. That has sent me back to the same thing. Then after a while, just finally
hit no.
Gave up and tried something else, and then wanted to be.
Yeah.
On the next ticket that you show, can you leave it in an incomplete status again, but can you also add a service? Go through the service process where you drill into the chevron and add the service to the unit? Kind of an expanded version, like if it was a PMX or a time and material, wouldn't you have to go and choose what you're working on?
Let's see if I can pick the right one.
Yeah, if there's a ticket in there available. If not, I can ask Miss Lisa to add one.
Oh, like the one that it regenerated on its own. Sometimes it does that. Remember, like
it does it every time. It just might take a minute.
Yeah, even on a version 10, version 10, like sometimes while you're still on the ticket and you're trying to close it out, it doesn't generate that extra labor line, and then you can close it all out, and if you go back to your work list and you refresh it, it actually generates that extra labor line, and the ticket pops back up in your tablet. Or usually what happens is when you're still in it and you're closing it out, it kind of gives you a message in the middle, letting you know basically it created that extra labor line. And so when you close it out, it does it all normal. But in this case, like as you guys saw, I was able to close it out and and stuff like that. And I didn't see if it generated a labor line or not, but it actually did, because it's right here at the very bottom, that 013. And if we go in it, you can see that it did go. See, now it has the fulfilled and then open labor line. So it did generate it. So we can actually keep working on this one, I believe. So
whenever I was testing the labor complete open PR in UAT, not in this, but in UAT, sometimes I would have to refresh my work list.
Yeah, which is the version 10, same thing.
Okay.
Sometimes you had to refresh it because they didn't generate and sometimes it's because it's the system, or you're just in a bad area, like as far as and it takes a while for it to generate that labor line and then do all that. So when you refresh it, though, it does generate it and it pops back up in your tablet. So okay, we'll start travel again. We'll start work again. And then you said you wanted me to do what this time around, Jessica? You said on materials or?
No, you add a service. So if you drill in a service, or if you hit that orange fast action button, the orange button at the bottom, you're able
Here.
to add a service, right? Yeah.
Here in the service.
Yep. And then if you click the top, the service drop down at the very top with the asterisk
Yeah.
is a drop down. So these are like these services are what you would add if you were doing what, a time and material or like quoted work. I guess if it wasn't already populated as a service, if you had to add an additional service, what are the options down there?
Admin service, and then it's just these SPs, travel charge, trip charge, truck charge. But I think with this, we're not quite there yet, Jessica. And
Okay,
I
so
could,
we're not applying
but we're
those
not
now.
applying this right now. We're
So
basically
it's
using,
going to be whatever's assigned in there already.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
We're not, yeah, like I don't think we're using these even now. I know this alliance has a lot of features, but we're basically using it as simple as the version 10 for now. Like, and I
Yeah.
guess progress as we show progression in the field, I think we'll start applying some of these other features in there. But as of now, I think it's just, yeah.
Okay. So if there's not a service there, then we're not taking action right there. That's easy.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And
Yep.
then items are, if you're, that is, those
That's
are units on the roof, right?
That's
Or
yes,
whatever.
that's equipment, and you can actually go in there and
Attachments, bam, that's what I
yeah,
was looking for. And add
Yep.
pictures of it, right? Pictures of the plates.
No, that's actually using the paperclip.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I
So
mean
click
that is
that.
the proper way. Like, say, equipment attachments. Uh,
Oh, maybe that would show you what's already there.
yeah, like if you put RTU, I think you.
There's
That's it.
probably not pictures in prod.
That's probably because there's no equipment on here. That's
Yeah,
why.
there's no pictures in prod. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no equipment like Oh, there it is. Yeah, so there is equipment. See, there's rooftop units there. See that?
Yeah.
Now
Probably
I guess so it's
pictures.
rooftop unit. Yeah. And what I just did is I added it that I was working on. So like, say this was a service call, and this was the actual only unit I was working on. It shows here now your item, see rooftop unit RTU1, showing
And you
that.
just click the plus.
Yeah, you can even drill into it again and see at the bottom right it has like the little buildings. If you click on that, it gives you all your equipment that's on this site. And if you hit your icons, add, but the plus meaning you're adding it like to the to that front page of it.
You
Or
can,
if you do,
can you add more than one? Can you have more than one unit on?
yeah, like say I
list?
work, yeah, say like right there I added RT1, say I worked on RT2 as well. I'll just hit that plus sign and say I worked on all 3 units. I hit the plus sign on there, and if I go back to my steps again, you see on items product, it has RT1, 2, and then even one more item there at the towards the bottom of that RT2. It says one more item. That's telling them these are the units that I worked on.
Is all the information that we have in Astea now going to transfer over to
Yes.
the new?
Yes, that's why we were so adamant. That's why we were so like on top of everyone filling out these, on asset management forms with all the text and capturing more data, more accurate data than we did before, because they're going to transfer all that into this new alliance. So you should see more tickets with all the equipment opposed to right now version 10. You go to a PM to do a PM and it has no equipment on there, like let alone it won't even have the filters. We're trying to change that with this alliance. That's what we're so pushing everyone to get as much data as possible, fill out these asset management forms out to capture all the data we can capture, because they're going to import all that stuff into this alliance.
Is the glitch when the filters just keep adding gonna change? Like, if you
Yeah,
go there and
all that
change
shit-
12, the next time you
yes.
go back, it's 24, then 36.
Yeah, that's
Gonna
going
be,
to change. Yeah, that's going to change for sure. Yeah, I know. Yeah, sometimes it generates and it says, you only have 3 rooftop units there, and I'll take 4 each, but it says that you need 28 filters. When you only need it's 3 units, 4 each. You only need a box. You only need 12. Yeah, so been there.
Well, that was the under the. They kept adding them under the site item, and under the unit. If we'd add them under the unit, he had put it under the site item. and that, so you'd have to go into the site item, delete all the added equipment, all the added filters from there to straighten
Yep.
that out.
Yeah, because I don't know if you guys are familiar with, obviously you are, with the version 10, and to properly add the right size filters to each of the units, you had to go items, you had to pick the unit, drill into the unit, and then at the very bottom you saw the little wheel. We call it the little wheel. You have to click on that, and then it has the option, like it looks like your inventory, but you add the right size filter, and that's the way you add properly the filter size and the filter counts to that unit, opposed to adding in the materials. And then so I think that's why it was doubling up on some occasions, because they were see that, oh, someone added, obviously the filter sizes weren't added on there, so you add the filter the materials you use plus the units, the unit generated that size, and so it doubled up. So that's why you had all these extra counts. So it was just a mess on that, and we're trying to change that, or it should change here on this alliance.
So there was a checkbox whenever you'd added filters on a PM on the materials page that asked you if you wanted to add that as a site item. And if you uncheck that, then it wouldn't add it there. But if you didn't uncheck it, then it put it under the site item also. So then it doubled it every time.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to have that issue here because I don't think you can alter the side item.
So there's many ways you can add stuff on here. Like it basically took me, like if I was doing this and items and materials and product on this, but I don't want to confuse you guys or put too much on you guys' plate. I want you to guys learn the basics, and stuff like that on this, so you guys can navigate it easy through it. And then as we go along, like show you the ins and outs and the other features that you guys can control and add and stuff like that. But right now, I just want to show you guys the basics of how to, close it open and close the ticket out. And if something that went wrong, you can, kind of find yourself, and then and then it's still able to close it out, correct the stuff, and then still close it. That's my focus on. But the more you guys learn, the more stuff you're gonna see, and what you're capable of doing on this alliance and every ticket. So this is a lot. There's a lot, so you guys know.
Can we close this one with what we have on there? Is that possible?
With what?
Can you show us how to finish this ticket with those products on there?
Yeah, no, it's gonna close out the same way. Like as of right now, I can still navigate all the way down to here. I'm gonna go to activities question mark that's red. It'll take me to my labor service line where it says start. Just want to see my icons. Obviously, I can go to my checklist. Like I said, one-stop shop, because I'm ready to get my signature because I'm done for the day. There's my signature. Accept. Save. I can go back.
Oh, something.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't have gone back. Sorry, that was this
Yeah,
is my
but it's not.
one-stop shop. Yeah, it's my one-stop shop at work. I'm gonna stop my work. I'm gonna stop my code. What should we close this on there? Should we close it at end of day returning, or?
Well, we've already done that once. Is there another code that we want to try? Do you want to try labor completed open PR to see if
Not resolved, need the right quote.
Okay.
Not resolved, needs a right quote. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll close it like that. All those except for resolved, all the other codes, all it means is gonna just generate an extra labor line, just to keep
time it, see how long it takes.
Yeah. To keep, to keep the ticket on your tablet and stuff so it doesn't go away. And then as long as you see that paper clip, you can add your forms from anywhere. Like here, it's still at the bottom here, so you can still add stuff, and it works the same way. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go to my Form Connect. Where's my detailed quote forms? Just the very first one. Export PDF. Open in. Works the same way as the version 10. See, it takes me back to my screen. Now I can go to my paperclip, hit the plus sign from files, and there it is, detail quote format. So it's the same as version 10. You can even rename it or leave it. Hit save, save again, and it should come up here. Right there at the very top, detail quote form to the AT&T one. So it's essentially the same.
That is nice being able to rename it in Astea instead of
Mhm.
having to your
Yeah.
Google Drive, rename it, and then send it from there. It's eliminating
Yep.
one copy. You got it. Nice.
Yep. And then while we were doing that, they are actually already generated my extra labor line. And I know, how do I know that? It's because my activities is still on red. See that?
Mhm.
So, and there it is. See, it's right there at the very bottom, accepted checklist. So, and then you can tell because of the icons, it has a travel now, your start work. So it has the same icons like when you first started your ticket when you haven't touched it yet. So, but we're done with this. So not to confuse you guys, we're done with this ticket. So we don't need to touch the labor line. So we're going to continue by, hitting this, flashing orange icon. We'll put our notes in, stuff like that. We'll continue your overview. You can block the signature. Hit OK. You don't need to send it to anyone. Now this is again, this is gonna pop up 100% of the time. Every time you close out the ticket on their end of day returning incomplete. Basically, when it regenerates a labor line onto that ticket, because you're gonna be returning, this is always gonna pop up this question. There are open tasks that must be completed before removing this order. Would you like to return to completion card to review this open task? Obviously, you don't need to return because you know what's going on with your ticket. So your answer will be no, unless you do want to go back. But you would hit no, and now allows you to continue to keep going on the direction you were going and close out this ticket, in which I did. See that? And then it's here. It was
There
this
it
mattress from 513013.
Nice. That worked well. Oh,
Is there
okay.
any way we can go live just for a week before it goes to everybody?
No, this is your only opportunity. So you need to do as much as you can in here as you possibly can. If you want more tickets loaded, reach out and we'll load more tickets. This prod environment is the live before the live. This is our test before the live.
But this isn't how it's going to look live. This isn't the app.
Yeah,
This is on a server. This is on a browser.
it's exactly though.
Can we
It's
get
exactly
the actual live version?
It looks the same.
yeah. Now, if you want to try it
Same.
on the live version, if you guys really want to try it
Are
on
we
live
hoping
version,
or are we sure?
no.
That's
Hold on 1 second. If you guys want to really try it, like how I've been trying it, like right now, this tablet, I'm on my iPad and I'm actually using the iPad in the app. And the reason I was able to do that because I'm using multiple devices. Now, if you guys have that capability, all you have to do, and you can get with Jessica, all you have to do is, obviously you don't want to lose your version 10. Like right now, all my service calls and I'm actually taking care of, like right now, my version 10 is on my phone, on my iPhone. I use all my stuff there to clock in and clock out of my tickets right now as we're currently working on version 10. And I've been doing these testings on the lines on my iPad, and because it uses the same app. So all you have to do is, if you have an extra device, you could download the app into that device, just like you would on the version 10, but your URL address, your HTTP address is different. We will have to give you that. And it's going to, once you put that in there, it's going to have it just like how you're seeing it now. It's going to be an app. See, watch, I'm going to show you.
That's
You guys
money.
Hey Jim.
See that?
Can
You
they
see that?
copy the prod environment into the app and it work?
Yeah, that's what I have now, Jessica. It's
Yeah.
on the app.
Okay, so then they
Yeah.
have the link.
Okay,
So
yeah,
we have
and
the
you would
link.
just, like I said, it uses the exact same app as version 10. You would just enter your different HTTP address for this alliance. But this is where I'm at right now. I'm on the same app as the version 10, as you see it. See that at the bottom, right there. I'm in the actual app right now.
Yeah, so it's the same. Should be.
So it's exactly the same, whether you're doing it right now on the Talent LMS, on the Safari, whatever, like Jessica has you guys on. It's the same as the app. It's going to look the exact same. It's going to operate the same exact way, everything, 100%. But if you guys really want to test it on the app, because you guys want to have it in the app, That's all you have to do. If you have an extra device, because obviously you still need the original app for the version 10 to continue your day-to-day before this thing goes live.
Now, is everybody going to get? When is everybody going to get the address and everything for it?
You already have that. Yeah.
You're talking, Rafe, are you talking about technicians?
Yes, everybody.
I'm waiting on the go because we are loading the users. So as soon as they're loaded, they're going to get the same LMS class you got with the link and the slideshow in it so that they can cheat and have the slideshow handy. It'll come straight to their email. I'm just waiting on all the users to be loaded with the proper checklists.
Okay.
What else do we need to do? I mean, even the time and expenses, it's the timesheet. It's right there. And then and another insight, because I'm pretty sure everyone's like, I always like to look at my hours, what I have for the week. That would be on history. If you go to history, opposed to before, you can see it on the timesheet. The timesheet here looks a little different. What's today? Tuesday. It breaks it down differently from what I can tell, but let's see. I don't know what the hell. I'll preview. Oh,
You're on.
was,
I think you're on expense report. You need to go to time.
yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad. There it is. So there goes your labor service on the last ticket we did, but that shouldn't be like that either. Yeah.
Sorry, I honestly looked away. Are you looking for the signature pin?
No, I'm just looking. Oh, here it is. I'm looking for my hours. Do you see that?
Yeah.
See how it breaks it down all crazy? You know, like opposed to on the version 10, it gives you like the date and how many hours you have for the date, that date, and then this one breaks it down by each ticket. But if you look into, it should be on history. I don't know why it's not coming up on my history. For the hours, I was trying to explain to the guys for the hours you have. Well, here, well, it kind of does it. See, Tuesday I have 1 hour and 16 minutes. For Monday, because there was tickets open since last week, it has way over. It's like 1,163 hours. But you know, I don't know. Yeah, for travel because it was tickets that were open that didn't even close out, so it gets it all crazy. But that's what I just want to show, because I know a lot of techs are gonna be like, I want to see my hours, you know, just like we do now on our version 10. We like to keep a track of our hours, what we have for the day, and then what we have for the week.
So if you were working regular tickets, your days would line up and show hours for each ticket and then total.
Oh yeah, see, so it is right there. So it is on the time. So,
but you have to, yeah, that's what I was saying. You have to do it from where the pin is to view it as a whole. Otherwise, you're viewing it by day.
Yeah, so you would do it by the date. Like when as soon as you go into the timesheet, then you can hit that icon that says preview, and it gives you a preview. See like of what days you have what, you know. So like Monday, it's just see it's total reported 44 minutes. Yeah. So it's just essentially the same, just like it just looks a little different, same as version 10. Just you use a different icon.
Will the mapping stuff on this work? The map part of it with GPS and all that? Is that going to be functional when it goes live?
Jim?
As far as
Let Jim answer that one. I'm not sure about that.
Depends on what you mean by that. Do you mean the what the heck's that thing?
You can see everybody's location.
Say it again. You broke up.
Where you can see everybody else's location.
Oh no.
No, the DSE. No, DSE is not a part of that. That's part of phase 2 because we need to enable a whole different technology in order to do that. That is a phase 2 activity though, that will be, but that's the dynamic scheduling though. That's like the scheduling engine, like you're closest, so therefore you should pick up this call and all that kind of stuff.
That's down the road. Okay, that's what I thought.
If that's what you're talking about, that's not in this initial part.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was talking. Because I noticed it showed everybody's address. Well, it showed some of us anyway in the branch for addresses and that. You know.
Well, they're trying,
It had,
like Jessica's saying, they're trying to get as much of this data into the system, so that the last thing we want is you guys typing.
Yeah.
No offense, I mean, not that you're not good typers or whatever, but you guys could be doing other things. So we want to try and pull as much of this data as we can in, so you guys can work and then go to the next job instead of this taking as long. We have a whole list of phase 2 improvements that we will work on, the businesses vetting them out on how much effort is it going to take, what resources is it going to take, and how quickly could we do it, and how impactful to the business. And they're going to go right down the list on which ones they want to do. And I can say that some of the top ones are productivity enhancements for the techs.
Yeah.
So I can't say immediately things are going to be dramatically better, but I can say that probably within about 6 months, you guys should start to notice some very nice improvements for how things turn around on the system and the capabilities you guys have.
Brighter days ahead.
Oh yeah, and, you know, the first week will cancel out all that goodwill, but you know.
No. We just have to get through it. We all have to have a very patient understanding with each other that everybody is busting their butt to get it done. So as long as we keep that, we're going to make it through this first week. I think that some people here have PTSD from last time, and I'm here to help. And I don't know exactly what happened last time, but I know that I'm going to give you almost anything that you ask for resource wise. So I really hope that we can just look at it a little bit more positive, like we're maybe a little bit more prepared. I think we're making a lot more effort with these meetings and some of the documents that are going out. So let's just have a little faith in ourselves and our teams.
Yeah.
And let me know if I can give you anything else, because I'll give it to you if I can do it. Deal? Jason?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Look, if you're working it overnight and forget to clock in, on this one, can you go back past midnight, put a time in on this version? Because on 10, if you miss the day, you miss the day.
Good question. I'd have to ask. I think it's open to bill in the past. But I'll ask exactly if you can cross midnight while we're at our meeting today.
Are you talking about per day, Jason? Or are you talking about at the end of a week, like you've crossed over a week? Like Saturday night, I imagine, would be worse than any other day.
Yeah.
It would be
No,
per day.
per day. If I'm working a mid shift, if I'm working it overnight and I go to a store at 9 o'clock on Tuesday night and realize at 1 o'clock Wednesday morning that I forgot to start work, and I was wondering if you could get back past into Tuesday to start work or start, do travel and all that after midnight goes by.
My answer to that, I think my answer to that, from what I can see here, is the same as version 10, because they go by hour. You can only go by hour. It doesn't give you the capability to change the date.
Go into
So
travel
that's just my assumption.
And it pops up a calendar, and try to go back a day. Just try it on a ticket. Rafa, can you try it on a ticket and just try to change the date and see if it stops you?
Let me see. So here, at least I know I started travel, right? But
So go back to 7. Can you go back to February 7th?
You got to change the date on your iPad to do it. On version 10, that's what you had to do.
Mulligan's got to work around. Change the year on your iPad.
Everybody's got to work around.
Well, if you change the date, it does. You can go back the day. If you change it to the previous day, you could do it.
Oh no, it's grayed out. So
Yeah,
no, it won't let you. Okay, so
No.
I'm gonna bring that up to that. So
it
right
get
now that's
smarter?
the same. Clock in, remember to
Well,
clock in.
it grayed out.
Don't.
It grayed out, but did it take it?
No.
Let me see.
This is
Start
7 at
travel.
11:53 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. It took it. See? It's
Okay,
2-7.
see if we can close it out real quick. See if it doesn't kick you back. I'd love to list another quick improvement, and that would be one.
It did it.
It did it.
Unless an error came up.
I don't see anything. Ha! Mulligan, you don't have to change your iPad date. You can just put it in.
I was saying that was on the old version.
Hey, I bet that works. It does. What would change the timestamp? Technically, it would probably conflict with the GPS timestamp, but I don't know what that would do to the system. Anyway, sounds like
Yeah,
you're
and
good.
that should only, yeah, but that should only apply to those overnights in case. I mean,
If
going
you
back to
don't
that,
clock in,
yeah,
which is an
you
exception
should
to
be
an
clocking in
exception.
lifetime. But if you do these overnights, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, so if you want more tickets, let me know. I will do everything I can to get them on there. I need to get with Miss Lisa and learn how to do it myself so that I can help her put them on there faster. And then any questions you have, and then I got some screenshots today. If you have a screenshot, send it over. That is going to be the fastest way to get an error fixed or a question answered. All right. Need anything else? Anybody need anything else? Rafa, are you good?
No, I'm good. Unless
Any
the guys
questions
have
from anybody?
questions.
Are we doing this tomorrow again?
I'm open to do it tomorrow. Have it on the calendar for 30 minutes earlier. If it's obviously optional, if you feel comfortable, that's okay. If you don't, we'll be here.
It's just
Raphael,
half
mate.
early.
Hey, the dual signature part, either of them will work because I know techs are going to be confused when it pops
Yeah.
up as two different
And-
signature boxes.
and that's a good question.
What's the point of that?
Well, that's a good question. So let me explain real quick to you guys. The one that pops up that generates after when you're going through the steps of closing it out, and I say, oh, you could block that out. That signature portion, it only allows you to sign one time, and that's it. When say you close out the ticket and you're gonna be back tomorrow, that signature block that I blocked out, if say I signed it or the manager signed it, it doesn't regenerate for another signature. It's just gonna say download. So this system, the way they did it, it only gives you that one time and one time only signature, and that doesn't work because we need a signature for every trip we're there at the same site. So we're gonna be there for 3 days. We need 3 signatures. So the original way where you see that signature block come up and I say, oh, block it, you don't need it, is because that right there, when it generates, it only generates one time and one time only, even if you're there 3 times. So to go around that, to get a signature for every trip, we generate into the checklist where you see me put, when that question comes up, are you done for today? Yes, and it generates a signature. That generates every time a labor line is generated. So you get a signature for every time you're there and multiple trips on the same site.
Okay.
So the big window is for the last day done, right? And if they were to sign into that again, it would override the other signature, I believe. So
It's just both apply. So even then, even
that
if
labor
they
line's going to be there always.
always it generates a signature every time it generates a labor line, opposed to the other one when you're checking out, and then the one I was telling you guys to just block that. If you sign it so let me show you real quick.
If you
We
sign
have,
it there, it's final. I mean, that's it. So you
Yeah.
want to do it in the labor line if you're coming back. If you're not coming back, then it doesn't really matter where you put it.
so like this is the one we close out of we're gonna write up a quote. So, so this is what I want to show, and I can actually show because it's flashing there. It should generate the signature unavailable, no signature captured, because we already signed it once. So this is what you're gonna get because it only generates that one signature that one time, opposed to here, it on our checklist, we're always gonna get that labor service line, which is our signature. See, are you done working? It's always gonna generate when you generate a new labor line. But that was a good question. Yeah. Yeah, so like it's gonna confuse it, not confuse the text, but we need to make it clear, like to them that part it's only one time, it only generates one time, so we need to get signatures from the labor service line, which is the checklist, because it's always going to be there every time you have a labor line.
It's going to prompt you every time anyway, because you're not going to be able to close it out with a red circle. So they're going to find their way to it. With we'll guide them, and they'll also find their way to it. It'll funnel them to it. So.
Cool. Hopefully it was helpful today, guys. Hopefully it helps you guys navigate through your tickets and stuff, and kind of have you mess with it a little bit more and learn it.